Welcome everyone, back with the latest time trial video, where I go through my best lap and show you if I'm able to get gold driving in automatic, and hopefully show other drivers who attempt this in automatic that if I was able to be fast enough, then it can be done. Sometimes I'm not fast enough, or the elite drivers make the gold target out of reach, and I'll have to switch to manual. I'll showcase those laps in these videos as well. I do all my driving on controller, and in time trials, I drive with assists on, which are countersteering, ASM, ABS, and traction if needed. I'm also using the braking area, apex markers, and chasing one of the leader's ghost. The second part of this video will be the chase cam view, so you can see the full position of the car through turns as I'm driving. With all that being said, let's jump right into the lap and show you how I did. This time trial is at Watkins Glen long course in the Lexus Lc500. ABS is set to weak and my traction is set to 1. Turn 1. I'm using the 300 board and I'm braking a bit before it. Around the halfway point between the 4 and 300 board, I start turning at the third last bar, and that's when I also let off the brake, coast to the curb, and gradually get back on the throttle. I use this apex marker as my turning marker. If you don't have them on, use the end of the curb and turn just before it ends. This is another turning marker, the end of the curb again, and you don't need to swing the car to the left. You can ease into the turn, and that way you'll keep building a little speed heading into the straight. Here at the bus stop, I use the 400 board, but I'm braking around this point, which is about halfway between the 5 and 400 board. Then here just before the 200 board, I let off for a quick second and start turning. You can also use the third last bar of the area. Then back on the brake to the curb, then lift, brake lift, then ease into the throttle till the right bend, then let it coast a bit. I tap the gas a couple times to keep my speed up. Then when I'm approaching the apex marker, I get back on the throttle gradually until I can go full out. For this left, I start braking when the barrier straightens out with the track. You can also use the 200 board, but I'm braking well before it, trail brake into the turn, and let off going over the last red bar. Then about halfway through the turn I flutter the throttle until I can go full out on the exit. At the U-turn, you can use either of these signs as your marker. I use the Gran Turismo 7 because it's closer to track level and a much easier visual marker. Trail brake into the turn, let off after I pass the last red bar of the area, let it coast, till just before the apex marker, and that's when I gradually get back on the throttle until I can go full out. Here, I'm using the 200 board, and braking just a few meters before it, turn around the apex or 100 board, trail brake, let off at the last bar, coast a second, then gradually on the throttle coming off the curb until I'm straight enough to go full out. Here I use the fourth bar of the area. You can also use this tree if you don't use the braking area. Trail brake into the turn. I don't let off till a bit after the last bar. Then about 50% throttle until I'm straight enough to go full out. Here I use the third or middle bar of the area. You can also use the stands behind the fence when it reaches around this point, and it's just a quick brake then coast to the curb, then back on the throttle gradually until I can go full out. For the final turn, I use the end of extra padding on the barrier here as my marker, brake mainly in a straight line, let off going over the second last bar, let it coast to the curb, then very lightly on the gas till I can go full out. After putting this lap together, I managed to do a lot better for my skill level, and break into the 202s and get myself a 202.850, almost a full 2 seconds faster than the target time, securing myself a gold time. Now I leave you with the chase cam view. Hope this video can help all my fellow automatic drivers get themselves that gold. Please like, comment and subscribe. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you, and see you in the next video.